大家好，我姓某，我叫博维里. Today we're going to discuss Chinese entertainment, traditional to present, cultural research project by Willie Brown. Traditional entertainment, music, yin yang. We can trace the earliest form of Chinese music back to the 8000s BC. The five most important dynasties that had great influence on music were the Qin dynasty, the Tang dynasty, the Song dynasty, the Yuan dynasty, and the Ming and Qin dynasties. During the Qin dynasty in 221 BC, music was more related to the story of conquering and war. Drums and chimes used in performance. During the Tang dynasty in 618, music started to have more foreign influence, more peaceful time. Standard music forms and rules were established. Music tended to be more colorful and diverse. Moving on, in 960, the Song dynasty was more of a cultural development where musical theater starts to bloom. You have forms of opera, music becomes even more expansive and colorful. Move on to the 1000s over 1271 Yuan dynasty. The Yuan Zagu orchestra forms and it starts to incorporate different artistic elements such as music and dance as well as various different art forms. Then we move to 1368, the Ming and Qing dynasty, where music was more rooted in music and people's life and taking more of an overall cultural development. So it doesn't matter rich, poor, it kind of evolved and was more improved and more accessible to everyone. Traditional entertainment yin yang music continued. Traditional Chinese instruments consisted of around 8 groups: the silk, bamboo, wood, stone, metal, clay, and gourd, and also the skin. You have instruments like the erhu, the chen, the zizi, bangzi, and the biangzong, liu, dagu, pipa, and horsehead fiddle. Examples are erhu are a two-string fiddle, the bangzi, which is a high-pitched wood block, and the piangzong, which is a set of bronze bells. Traditional entertainment, history of dance, 舞蹈是. During the Zhou dynasty, circa 1026, Wu was performed by men and Shi by women. During Shang dynasty, circa 1776, hunting dances as well as animal dances were performed. The oldest manifestation of Chinese entertainment and dance is the Lions dance, which is sometimes, even to present day, performed during the Chinese New Year. Early customary traditions of Bakzi or Pashi was performed earliest at palace courts and public activities. Bashi featured acrobats, clowns, jugglers, magicians, song, musical recitals, and martial art demonstrations, and dancing girls dressed in traditional wear. Many movements of dance originated from popular Chinese form of martial arts. Traditional entertainment, 四者 theater. Earliest Chinese forms of theatrical arts formed from Chinese shamanistic rituals, which are religious rituals like the Wu. Earliest Chinese theatrical plays were stylized dramas with mimes, stylized dances, and choruses. During the Han Dynasty around 206 BC, performances became more widespread and secular. Shadow plays start to spawn, which are a form of Chinese shadow puppetry manipulated by puppeteers. During the early Tang period from 618 to 907, theater combined early dance, acrobatics, and music. Emperor Xuanzong opens the Bear Garden, which is a training school for entertainers. It is a widespread rumor that there was other things that were going on in that entertainment center, but we're not going to talk about that in this presentation. Around 1000 BC, poetry and literature is introduced in tea houses, which in part starts to form theatrical performance through spoken word. Traditional entertainment, theater continued. In the 1300s, after the invasion of the Mongols forming the Yuan dynasty, the golden age of literature in China was birthed. Period dramas and light and literary plays were ushered in. Period dramas usually drew from history, legend, and literature. Plays emphasized more of a strong moral message of family and duty. Here we see Tale of the White Snake, performed by traditional Chinese actors. Present day music. From the 1900s to present, older Chinese natives tend to continue to listen to traditional music from the Mao era. Songs like opera, instrumental music, classical music, and piano music paired with ballads and still popular with the older generation. Current day Chinese music is influenced by popular music from the Western world. Modern day youth in China listen to genres from hip hop, pop, R&B, rock, and techno. The latest cultural phenomenon outside of C-pop is an import of K-pop, Korean pop groups that are sometimes also formed with Chinese natives like GOT7, who features artist Jackson Wang, who sings R&B and hip hop under the Team Wang label. Another popular singer of Chinese native ancestry is Jay Choi, who's a popular present-day Chinese artist, also called the King of Mando Pop, and has sold over 30 million records and is one of the best singers in mainland China. Present day dance. During the 1978 Chinese Reformation opened up, modern dance influences started to seep into the traditional Chinese culture. During that reconstruction in dance, imports of new ideas and thoughts from the Western world arrived, creating more of a modernization of Chinese dance. Traditional Chinese folk dance and dance changed more to modern dance based on tradition. American Dance Festival in 1987 brought modern dancers together in Guangzhou to help birth a more modern dance based on tradition and culture. Present day dance continue. Hip hop has also been a very big influence on modern day China. In the US World of Dance show, an international dance crew named Quick Crew made it to the finals. They hip hop dance in traditional Chinese clothing. uh, Present day film and television. China is the fastest growing international market in the world. Chinese investors invest in distribution of film and television internationally. Three types of Chinese film genres produced are commercial films, propaganda films, and art films. China has a robust box office that brings in billions of dollars per year and is one of the top box office outside of the US and Bollywood. Feng Xiang Zong's Gong's Aftershock and If You Are the One are some present day films that have international appeal. In 1995, Chinese films won 48 prizes at the international film festivals. Some of the most popular films in the 90s included Chinese natives Li Lianjie, Jet Li, and Chang Kong Song, Jackie Chan. Chan's Rush Hour franchise, where he was the co-lead with American actor Chris Tucker, was one of the top-selling films of the 90s that grossed over $849 million. The most popular Chinese actors being Li Junfan, Bruce Lee, their predecessor, who popularized Chinese kung fu films internationally with films like The Green Hornet, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon, and Enter into the Dragon. Present day film and television continue. In 2000 to present, Chinese entertainers who have reached worldwide screen audiences in present day is writer, actor, producer Eddie Huang, who produced a great show based off his traditional Chinese family called Fresh Off the Boat, starring actress Chinese woman Randa Park, and also a film called Boogie. The film Crazy Rich Asians, directed by John Chu, starring Constant Wu and Henry Golding and Aquafina, who are Chinese neighbor, helped launch all the actors into international stardom and fame. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Wu Hu Kong Long was a popular film in the early 2000s that starred Chinese actors Michelle Yeoh, Zhang Ziyi, and Chow Yun Fat, who have had an expansive international career since 2000. Wu Xia, film directed by one of the most famous Chinese directors, Ang Lee of Avatar: The Last Airbender fame. Present day film and television continue. In 2021, Chinese film Minari actress Yang Yo Jung took home the Oscar for Minari. Also, international Chinese filmmaker Chloe Zhao took home the Best Director Award for Nomadland. This shows you how much Chinese culture is ingrained in art and film and in television. And now, in present day, in 2021, more Asian actors and actresses are getting seen and also heard in great films that are transcending the international market. Thank you for listening to Chinese Entertainment, Traditional to Present. Here's a few questions. Is there anything new you learned about traditional or present day Chinese entertainment? Have you watched any traditional Chinese operas? If so, which ones? What are some aspects that interest you about Chinese entertainment? Again, thanks for listening. Sai Chen.